We should be live now. Let me get on X real quick.
X. Yo, people call it X. I don't even call it X. I call it Twitter, bro. I can't do
Yeah.
this. I can't do this X thing, man.
and call link in comments. Joshua-Dubois and Munguia
Munguia, man.
Bazian or Bazinyan.
Yeah, I don't even really know how to pronounce that guy's name.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's see what's cooking. I'm gonna send it to two more people. And okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Boxing Rush Hour show. As always, I am joined by 135, 140 pounder, whichever way they want to get it.
Yes, sir.
Fighter Zachary Ochoa. What's up, Zach? What's going on?
How you feeling, bro?
I'm.
Yo,
It's
you looking good, eh? You feel me? You got it. You know what I'm
it's
saying? I see the what is it? The white polo shirt, okay?
yeah,
Yeah, with the glasses.
little white polo. I got my Spanish turkey going on
The
right
five
now.
o'clock shadow, the Spanish turkey, holding hands or what?
Nah, no hands, no
Only
holding
no
hands.
hand, no hands. Only for the 10 plus mil. Okay.
Yeah, no doubt. What's good with you, man? Talk to me. How you been?
Everything's good. Everything's been great. I've been you know what I'm saying? I'm just staying busy for today. But today's been a smooth Friday. A real
Yeah.
smooth Friday. Yeah. I'll
What's
spend some
shaking over
time with
there in
my
New York?
son.
What's shaking over there in New York?
Everything is shaking, man. But you know, it's time to spend good quality time with my son. You know what I'm saying? Take him out. Might I don't know. I want to take him somewhere camping or something like that. But we gonna see what's up, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard old Teofimo was in Gleason's last night or the night before.
I know nothing that happens in New York. I know everything that happens, but you know, it's good that, you know, he's trying to keep himself motivated, keep himself busy, and you know, just trying to keep himself relevant at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, Not to get on his topic, but I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, yo, Teofimo Lopez, he's an underpaid guy, but he is also he's not a star. Like he's not a mega star. Excuse me. He's not a mega star, and I don't know why. You know, I can try out. I can think of some things, but I don't understand. He's not a mega star. You understand? He has more personality and more everything than a lot of most of these guys that are mega stars. But he's just not a mega star. And I honestly think it's because of the way he's been promoted and also, you know, the way he carries himself in a certain way. But great fighter, underpaid fighter, big time.
Yeah, and it seems like though he gets paid outside of the ring.
I'm sure he
Look,
gets paid his little sponsors and stuff like that.
yeah.
But
I
the
mean,
ring
not
money different, bro.
yeah, but I don't know if I'd say little, man, because you're not gonna hold up a bottle of Nestle Quick for nothing. You know what I mean? Like
True.
that's
Unless
gonna
he's
bring.
trying to get it. You get me?
That's true. That's true. I
Because
mean, but what about the?
I would hold the Yoo-Hoo bottle and be like, hey, Yoo-Hoo, come holla at me, man.
I
Feel
mean,
me?
he had the Burger King, and I know officially he's with Bud Light and stuff like that. So, I
Okay.
mean, that those are some big companies, and
Yeah.
so the only thing is sometimes he runs into some trouble when he makes like some comments, and
You gotta be
although
careful. You gotta be careful
yeah,
what you say. You know what I'm saying? Also, these big companies are also franchisees. You gotta remember. Like I've had a guy approach me and you know, Dunkin' Donuts approached me, right? You would think, damn, oh, Dunkin' Donuts. No, it's a guy who owns a Dunkin' Donuts that's willing to give you like 10 grand to rock a patch on his shorts and shout his Dunkin' Donuts out. You get me? Than
Gotcha.
say he has a fighter. So it's not like the whole franchisee. Now Disney and all that, that's different. That's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
Budweiser, I'm not sure how that works, but that's dope. You feel me?
Yeah.
But yeah, he goes on a rant, but what fighters don't sometimes?
Yeah, I think that the only thing, and this is where, like, not that the media folks should be helping him out in anything, but he sometimes puts his foot in his mouth to where he's like saying like borderline racist stuff,
I
or
heard that.
not even borderline. It sounds like that, right? And so, you know, man, I mean, in those moments, the person recording it, they could have just been like, "Yo, Tail, man, I'm gonna cut that out because of X, Y, Z. You probably need to, be aware of what you're saying in the public eye." But instead, people are like, "Oh, well, let me run this clip through so I can, go viral." And it's, I don't know, it's kind of a
How do you how do you become a TMZ? You don't
yeah,
care what they
yeah,
put it out. You don't care what they
okay.
do, put out. You're not gonna be, you're not nobody's babysitter. And
That's true.
everyone is and you have a job to do. And there's a difference between if you really caring or you got a job. And these people got their jobs, so they don't really care. They can say they care about the fires, that's cool, but they have their jobs and they gotta do what they gotta do. This all media and stuff. They're gonna post it, black monkeys, bananas, all that type of stuff. I get it and things like that. But sometimes when you're in a moment, you just say random things that come to your head. But some people are racist and some people aren't. Some things sound racist and some people don't sound racist. But freedom of speech, man. As long as you don't have them intentions, feel me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a sticky situation, man. But listen, we got some folks in the room now, so we're gonna go right into first of all, let's talk about Berlanga and Canelo last weekend. It was a big fight that matched that matched
I
against.
told you it wasn't gonna. All right.
Yeah, I know Oscar was on it last night, but it ended up, it was competing against the UFC, Noche de Mexico, I think, or Noche de UFC or whatever. And the fight itself, well, the people got the knockdown, but they didn't get their pound of flesh. They didn't get the knockout. One of the things that I had mentioned and I had predicted this for the LA Times is that um, I didn't think that he was gonna knock him out. He was gonna go to the distance, even though like 99% of the boxing community thought this was not going 12 rounds. I was like, nah, I'm not convinced that Canelo is that guy to put him away, and he wasn't. Seemed like he was getting a little slower, not slower, but he was fatiguing a little bit towards the end. Again, second half of the fight, more one shots, two shots here and there, not so much of not breaking no CompuBox records on the second half. Berlanga, I mean, he did what he did, but I felt like he should have gone for it. What do you think? What are your thoughts? What were your thoughts before or leading into the fight, and what did you think? I mean, how did that match up with what you thought afterwards?
You know, honestly, I agree with you when it came to the fight going the distance, and I did say that it might not. Who knows? But remember, he could have finished Munguia, but he didn't finish Munguia, and I believe it was because it's an endurance thing. It's not saying he doesn't come in shape. Canelo comes in great shape, but you know what I'm saying. He's trying to finish a guy, and he don't want to win himself out. And so he'll just say at the end, like, I just have fun. It's a good fight. I have fun. I fight young fighters, and we get it. But he just couldn't put him away. David Benavidez is a different animal, but that's a different discussion. You understand? And Edgar is coming in 201 pounds into a fight, guarantee, and and he's coming in shape. He's coming in shape. Not the crazy greatest chin in boxing. But guess what? He came in shape, bro. And the times he's been knocked down, which he has been knocked down, he gets up. As long as he got up, and that's what it's made for. But guess what? When it's time to go, it's time to go. You understand? I almost compared certain parts for when I fought Brandon Lee, and I moved a little bit too much and everything. Then towards the end, I bring it to him, and I changed the whole ending of the fight and everything. And if I would have started from the beginning like that, he would have most likely been stopped, or I would have been winner. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. So maybe if Edgar would have fought more, he would have been out there for more of a risk to get clipped. But he would have made it more competitive. You know, it wouldn't have looked like more of a cash grab. You feel me? It wouldn't look like all these other situations where guys get in the ring and they just fold up to get the check. You understand? So Edgar, he made from a people standpoint, from me, hey, shout out to Edgar. He did his thing. He didn't get knocked out. He went the distance with a guy and he made his great money. From the boxing standpoint, it's more of no, bro. You gotta get in there, let your nuts hang, and you gotta not die, man, but go all in there. Go to war in there, bro. Give it everything you got. Try, bro. You got the biggest stage. Who cares what happens to you? You gotta be on point, put everything, all that work in his corner. Yo, you gonna get through. No, bro. You need to tell him you fucking losing. Go in there. Real trainers. You know what I'm saying? All these other guys. Um, um, are all these old school trainers will be like, hey, you gotta let your nuts hang. You fucking lose. You're losing. You're breaking it. You're losing it, son. You know what I'm saying? Like go for it. But a lot of these young fighters and a lot of these trainers as well, because remember it correlates. They are satisfied with going the distance and not getting knocked out and having still their body good so they can make money and all that. I get it, but how do you really? Where's the legacy part come from? You understand? We're fighting for money and everything, but the legacy, the corazon, the heart. You get me? It's very important. But he made his money. He did good, and he did what he could. I don't want to say he did good. He did what he could with Canelo, and he himself was surprised that he went that distance, so he was happy. But Benavidez,
Yeah,
Benavidez.
that's the fight, man. And listen,
Benavidez.
I'm gonna read
Benavidez.
hold on. I'm gonna read something because I think this is important because this is coming from the people, and I put this on my Sunday conversation piece on that Sunday. But I think this is important for people to understand that there were folks that didn't like Edgar basically praising Canelo after. He's like, you a legend, this, that, third. Somebody sent me a message. They was like, Berlanga could have kissed Canelo's ass over lunch and saved me $90. And then he followed it up with undercards were entertaining. Grateful for the opportunity to get your ass whooped from corner to corner. What kind of mess is that? Great fighters beat their idols. They don't thank them for the ass whooping. It's hard to disagree with that.
No, no, that's the thing though. Um, it was just a little bit of a switch. You know what I'm saying? And energy, everything. But damn, bro, this whole idol stuff. I take idol as a serious word, man. Idol's a different type of word, bro. That's like, man, you can say one of the fighters I looked up to, man. But hey, we're not in Edgar's shoes. You feel me? Where somebody just gave you millions of dollars. So of course
10
he's
of them.
probably like, oh yeah, of course he's take with three after the everything. And it's like somebody just gave you millions, so it's like, yeah, you're my idol. Okay, you beat me up. I don't care what people say. You're my idol. Look at my hey. Feel me? Fuck that. What people say,
Yeah.
we're not in his shoes, But from a fighter, I can't say that. Like if I put myself in his shoes, I would be like, hey, I know I didn't get to do my best. I wanted to go in there. I understand he's one of the best fighters that we did look up to, and when we were younger and everything like that. But I did want to get him out there. I did want to win, and I'm disappointed myself. But I'm proud to at least share the ring with a man like Canelo Alvarez. But the whole other stuff is a little bit too extra. Feel
A
me?
little too extra, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit too extra. But you gotta salute, I guess.
Yeah, and listen, and actually, you know what? Before we pivot, man, I gotta touch on that Danny Garcia, Iris Landi
Why are we
Lara.
gonna touch on that? I don't want to touch on
Yeah.
that.
I just want to
Gotta leave
touch
that
on it
alone, man.
real quick. I want to touch on that, man.
Leave
I
it
think,
alone, bro.
man, I don't even want to talk about the fight, but the fact
You
when
wanna talk about how D hit the floor for the first time. Okay, you
no,
gotta.
I
Okay.
don't. I don't. I want to talk about how he told me, 2 weeks, 3 weeks before that every fight is his last fight. And we went and walked in there and he had that first round. Listen, Nobody was home up here. He was checked out, bro. He was checked out. He was in the
Yes.
corner. His father was talking to him, and I don't even think he was paying attention. Like not being like disrespectful, ignore him, but I just think that his he was somewhere else, bro. It just didn't seem like he
Nah, that's
was there.
happened. That's happened to me one time in an amateur fight. And when your head is not there, you lose everything. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time something really crazy in my family happened, and the next day, so that was the night, and the next day I had a fight in the junior metros in New York. I didn't listen to my coach not one bit. I was spaced out like a zombie. I look at the tapes, it looks like I'm crazy, and I won the fight, but I'm punching, doing all type of crazy shit, jumping in, hitting the guy like. So if your mind is not there at that level, at the championship elite level, bro, it's gonna be hard. You can't do anything, and it's more dangerous. You will get hurt. And I thank God Danny Garcia is okay, but he did get hurt a little bit, man. And when you say the corner stuff, it's more of a worry thing. It wasn't
Yeah.
more of a yo, let's figure out how can we beat Lara. It was more of like, are you good, bro?
Yeah.
Every time it was like, are you good, Danny? Are you okay? Are you it wasn't more of a yo, you have to do this. That's it. He did Angel did say some of that, which he's great trainer, but it was a lot more of the caring than the let's win part. And that's what overpowered that. And in boxing, the let's win part is over everything.
Yeah, and his I mean, in between those rounds, I saw Angel Garcia the father more than the trainer in a way where he automatically recognized my son is not here right now and I need to be mindful of how long I want to keep this going.
Okay, I agree with you. And you can, I don't know if you can, but I believe you can. You can compare it to Kenny Porter, Sean Porter with his dad. You
Mm,
understand? You know when the dads are in there, it's a totally different thing. You feel me? So maybe I'm not trying to say another coach because I can guarantee you that Danny Garcia will not be having another coach ever again in boxing, even if he just decides to. It'll just probably be his brother or somebody. You understand? But I believe without his dad, his boxing spirit isn't there no more because his father and him are one. They're literally one, bro. Without his father, nobody would really know and hear. They would know who Danny Garcia is, but they wouldn't know the real him, and he wouldn't be exposed as much because his father, his crazy father, crazy angel, man. I really love those guys, man. They showed me so much love in Philly and everything. Me growing up in the pros and come, them guys are the nicest guys ever, and they always stood to themselves. So they've been hand in hand. And without Angel there, and Danny Garcia is not gonna be mentally there, physically there. You understand? You ain't see the
yeah,
fire like I told you. Remember?
yeah,
We
yeah.
talked about fire. We ain't see fuego. You know what we saw? We ain't see fuego from Lara. We saw flames from Lara. Like not boom. It was more like I'm a wizard still. Let me do what I gotta do. Boom. Let me be sneaky.
Hmm.
Boom. So Lara's gonna still give people a lot of issues, man.
Yeah, even at
And
41. Even at 41. All right, listen, we're going to go right into Jaime Munguia versus Eric Bazinyan. They fight here in a few hours over in Arizona. Listen, they got I want to talk about a couple of the fights that they have here, and I want to pull up the card here. So there's let me see Emiliano Vargas is fighting. He's fighting against Larry Fryers. It's
that's the
at
younger. That's the younger Vargas than all of them.
yes, yeah.
He's the
I
best
think
one.
he's the
He's the only
best
one.
one.
The only
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
he's the best. And you know what? It's interesting because with him, I felt like he was. And I don't want to say this that he wasn't taken seriously because he's taking it seriously. I felt like he was allowing his talent to he was utilizing his talent more than preparing for it. So like his natural abilities, he was relying on that more. That's what I meant to say. He was relying more on his natural abilities than anything else.
Yeah.
But the last like two fights, I feel like he has made. some improvement, not only like in his vision, but also the way he approaches a fight. And I know that his father, Fernando Vargas, no ego. He's been taking them to different gyms, getting different types of work, having different coaches come in and work with him, which is big because you don't see that with the father and
Very big
son combo.
and
Very
very
big.
good.
Yeah. So Fernando Vargas has done that. So he's got this fight. I'd be interested to see how he looks. But instead of competing at lightweight, now I guess he's already outgrown lightweight and he's competing at 140 now. So
Too big.
anything anything that you see that stands out with Emiliano Vargas that people should be paying attention to?
I think he should be fighting at 130, 135. You know what I'm saying? 140 is a little too big. But what people should be paying attention is to do the comparisons. The only reason why Devin Haney is as good as he is because his father also brought him around other trainers to bring up his boxing IQ. And that's how Devin Haney became so good as well. It wasn't just the father, just like an Angel Garcia and Danny Garcia. It wasn't like that, bro. And so that's why Fernando Vargas is probably doing that with his son, so he can get his son more experience. And it's before you would think of it as all a big run, flash in the pan with all the brothers, these privileged kids because of the name and stuff like that. Yeah, it is true. They're only privileged because of the name, but guess what? Emiliano looks like the guy that he's like, nah, I want to do it for myself as well. And he's got probably a chip on his shoulder to prove everybody I ain't just his kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm my own fighter, which is really good for him. And it's good that his dad is taking the steps to showing him more around because he needs it. He needs it big time.
Yeah, and a reminder: if anybody wants to call in, you don't got to show your face. I put the link in the YouTube comments box. Excuse me, in the YouTube
We might
comments.
not want to see your face anyway.
In the
Nah,
YouTube
we good.
comments. So click on it, and we'll bring you in if you guys want to talk about anything in particular. All right, Richard Torres. This fight is interesting.
I
Richard
like
Torres
Richard
is
Torres.
fighting. He's fighting Joey Dorjeko. He a big dude, but he's a guy that you know he's a tough guy. He's just a tough. He's not gonna give you. He's not a super like in shape guy, but he's a in shape guy if that makes sense. And so Richard Torres is gonna have his hands full, and he's gonna be the co-main. And yeah, I think I'm really interested in seeing how Richard Torres does because those training wheels are gonna come off soon, and
Absolutely.
he's gonna have to fight real guys, and they're gonna have to make a decision: is he gonna fight because he's a small heavyweight? Is he gonna fight at heavyweight, or is he gonna try to cut down and make that bridger weight, the 230 pounds? So Richard Torres, I mean,
I think Richard Torres really reminds me of Tommy Morrison without the size. He
mm,
really reminds me with the way they fight. They fight very like alike, and the way Richard Torres even acts. He fights and acts, and his whole demeanor is like he's an '80s, '90s type of fighter, even wearing the short shorts and stuff like that. And I like that. I think that's pretty cool, and it fits his style big time. But he's not big enough for heavyweights. These guys is hitting hard, hard. Uh, the what's his name? Jared Anderson's bigger than him, and Jared Anderson even looks like a smaller heavyweight, but he's a big boy too. But Richard Torrey, if he goes down to light heavyweight, let's try to put him in cruiserweight. Let him try cruiserweight. He can make some. He can make money in cruiserweight. He can do his thing. He can take over if he can. But he can fight, bro. And he's a guy that he might not retire undefeated, but he's gonna retire with a lot of crazy wars on his hand. I tell you that right now, because he'll go. He'll go. Either he's gonna go or the other guy's gonna go. That's how I feel with his fights. Either he's knocking the guy out, or on the other hand, he's getting knocked out. But Richard Torres, he's a cool, personal guy. I've seen some of his stuff on social media, and I like that guy. He's cool, man. Yeah,
yeah, and he's a guy that I feel like his
he's entertaining.
yeah, his profile as a person is a little bit higher than his profile as a fighter. And so I think that now he has to try to match those a little bit so that they can kind of grow together.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
Yeah. All right. So the main event, we got Jaime Munguia versus Eric Bazignan. So Eric Bazignan is with Eye of the Tiger. uh, promotions out of Canada.
It's a good promotion
And
company.
yep, and they also have Christian and Billy. So if you can put two to two together, this feels like, hey, whoever, I would say if Munguia wins, he's getting Christian and Billy right after this one. This is what that feels like. But let me tell you something.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Bazignan is a beast now. I've seen some
Yeah,
tape of him, and but he is more of a guy that he likes to fight at that mid range and pumping that jab, and he doesn't do well on the inside or being put up against the ropes. Now Munguia is coming full force. My only concern now is that with Munguia, he went back to Eric Morales after being with Freddie Roach for a couple of fights, and now the flip flopping of trainers, man. Like, so I don't know. What are your thoughts on this matchup? And was it a good idea for him to go back to Eric Morales?
I don't know. I'm not really sure, to be honest. Freddie Roach is one of the greatest trainers of all time. Because he not outside of Pacquiao, he's trained also other great fighters. But it might be good for him that he went back to Eric Morales because Eric Morales is one of the smartest boxers that's been in the ring before. He's giving guys boxing lessons and he's a silent killer. You know what I'm saying? That guy is so maybe him with Munguia, they're both speaking Spanish, they're both Mexican, they both got that corazon. I think it might be good for him. But I'm gonna tell you one thing, bring up one thing that's impressive about Munguia. He did not sit his ass out for a year and a half after a great payday with Canelo and chill. Him and his team said, "Yo, you're gonna get back in the ring." Maybe it was De La Hoya because De La Hoya's got a fighting spirit as well. Get back in the ring and keep it going. And I'm happy for him. That's how he continues to be financially stable as well, and he continues to stay sharp and relevant in the boxing game. So I'm happy for him. I think it's going to be a good fight with this guy, but I think Mugia really wins this fight in impressive fashion
Mm,
because of him just staying active like that, bro. And even the next guy they mentioned after that, I don't think he beats Mugia yet. Yet,
mm,
very good
yeah.
fighter, very good, but not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, yeah. And then like Steve Kim always says, activity matters. And
It
Jaime
does,
Munguia,
bro. It really
my
does.
Jaime Munguia understands that, and I do like him signing with Top Rank. So doing like another co-promotion deal with Top Rank and getting the fights that he wants to get, which I would have to assume Christian
Wow.
and
So I
Billy is
did. I
part of
didn't
that.
really know. So he's not with Golden Boy,
No, he is.
or is it a promotion thing?
They did
Okay, cool.
another deal with Top Rank.
I
So
like it. I like these things.
Um,
I like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because Eye of the Tiger has a partnership with Top Rank,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so the Christian and Billy fight is going to happen. I almost have to be assured that it is now.
And that fight and those fights like that need to happen up there to get that money.
Yes,
I
yes,
like
because
that.
Christian Billy does pack them in Canada, so I think all of that is leading to that. But hey, listen, don't count out Eric Bazignan. He is a
He can
tough,
fight.
tough fighter. Yeah, he could
He
fight.
can fight. He can
He's a
go.
tough fighter. So that's going to be on ESPN later on tonight. So it's going to be on the linear platform. But of course, ESPN Plus, ESPN Deportes will all have that. I'm expecting a really good fight. I don't think it's going to be a whitewash. I think it's going to be a really entertaining fight. And yeah, Arizona, a little bit of a hotbed for those Mexican fights out there. Like
Arizona.
Jaime Munguia, David Benavidez, like they're getting a lot of traction out there. So more
That's
fights
good.
over there. More fights over there. All right. So let's see. Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois for Dubois' IBF heavyweight title. Both men stepped on the scale. Joshua looking like he an extra from the movie 300, and and Dubois, he came in at 248.6, but
Not
also
bad.
that's 3 pounds heavier than he's ever been. So he's at the heaviest he's ever been.
We talking about 3 pounds, man. The
Yeah,
heavyweight.
but
We talking about 3 pounds now. If he 3 pounds in middleweight, that's different, man. 3 pounds heavyweight. These guys, he probably had like three donuts or something like that. Had a couple extra pieces of toast, man.
But this
Three
is the thing,
pounds,
though.
baby.
He did look a little slower in his last fight, against what's his name, Urkovich. He looked a little slower than he did against Big Baby Miller, and so I don't know, like him being just a little bit heavier. I don't know if that bodes well for him because he was already, a little slower in his last fight, and now he's a few pounds heavier. He's gonna be even that much slower. So, you make
Mm.
anything
Yeah, I do.
out of this?
Yeah, I do. He hasn't been in easy fights. His last three fights have not been easy. He, you know what I'm saying? For him to be fighting Usyk and then this guy and then Jarrell's 1,000 pounds in the ring trying to take your head off. Jarrell's not an easy guy to beat. You understand? He's been in tough fights. So maybe not saying he should stay active, but maybe he needs a lot more rest to get his speed back. Maybe off training camp, off season, where there's no season in boxing, but for him, when he's not training, he should be taking care of his body a lot more. You understand? Gotta you're heavyweight, but you gotta put yourself on a little diet here and there. You understand? It's very important. So that can slow people down and that can slow fighters down. It's what they do when they're not fighting or not have a fight coming up. That's what slows fighters down, man. So maybe that has happened. Remember, Daniel Dubois has also made a lot of good money as well. So we
Mhm.
just don't know. I believe he's gonna do well, but Anthony Joshua is on another level right now, and his confidence is really high. He's not he we saw some confusion with him in the past couple of fights and years, but I feel like he's on right now, and I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
I don't know with Joshua. Listen, it's crazy because he has, the build that everybody wants. But like mentally, ooh, it's a little fragile up there, man. And every time he comes into fight week and press conferences and weigh-ins, he look like he's like a panic attack away from just shutting it all down. You
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. I
And I
understand that. I
and I'm
understand.
just like, I see him and I'm just like, man, this dude, like, is this gonna be the fight where he just doesn't show up?
Nah, you see, you said something. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
And so and then Dubois, even though Dubois has been in big fights, man, at the weigh-in, he looked like he was scared shitless of the just not scared, but like the just trying to take in the whole event. Like it was huge. It's a huge event, and there's supposed
all
to be
right.
a reported 96,000 people
Oh,
in Wembley
let's go
tomorrow.
over there. Let's hit these guys up for the tickets, man. Stop playing. We need to go over there, man. I might sneak in a fight real quick. Yo, but I feel like this. I honestly feel like this, and this is the truth with a lot of stuff, man. You can even throw Ryan Garcia with this stuff too. Even myself, I feel, man. Yo, you get to a point where like when you're in the beginning of your career where everyone is just happy, excited for you. Like you're the talk of the town. Like it's like no joke, everything. And then when things don't happen your way and it's not so smooth and crazy like it used to be, or like it traumatizes you in a certain way mentally, and you realize certain people are not there or there, and that all this is really fake and crazy. So mentally, you have to be strong. Have to be. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Joshua, he could have been traumatized a little bit by all this stuff he's gotten so fast and everything like that can happen, bro. From a fighter in Brooklyn that nobody even know or care about to with Golden Boy and all these people and everybody talking about me like I'm. It can happen to you mentally. You have to be strong. You understand? So on the other end, for Dubois, he ain't been to that stage like that. I mean, he's been with Usyk, but you can't compare Usyk stardom to Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua could sell out the whole Dominican Republic and have them fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's two guys. One guy dealing with all the stuff, all that stardom and everything, and to prove what is him to prove, and one guy saying, "Damn, man, I'm really here. Oh man, this is huge." But I think Dubois, he gonna hold his own, bro. He gonna do his thing. He's not. He looks like maybe he's gunshot from everything happening, but he's gonna come to fight. And Anthony Joshua, I feel like he's got so much experience now. Of course, all this is probably he gets into a whole nother, but I feel like it's him. Before it was him panicking, and I feel like it's him now controlling his feelings in these moments and controlling the interviews and chilling and this and that. He spent the room in a dark room for a couple of days or something like that. I heard one time, and he's. I feel like he's channeling himself, and I'm actually excited about this fight, bro.
Yeah,
I
and
like it. I like it.
I know that I've seen some stuff where you were hanging out with Anthony Joshua down in Miami one time, and I saw some pictures over there, so you kind of got a glimpse of Anthony Joshua, the man, right, and not the fighter.
Yeah, I'm talking.
Um,
I'm talking about him as the fighter, as the
yeah,
man.
yeah, as
Yo,
the
I'm gonna
man.
tell you something about Anthony Joshua. He's the most coolest. He's one of the most coolest dudes you could even imagine, bro. Me and him was talking and everything, and man, like we was talking like we was friends, like we was grew up in the gym together, bro. Really talking. He even mentioned he knew my trainer, Stephen Breadman Edwards, Anthony Joshua. So it was like, I was like, hey, maybe you could train with him. You know what I'm saying? Bring Anthony Joshua to Philly or something. But man, Anthony Joshua's a really good guy, great guy. I think Dubois is also a great guy. I never met him, but yeah, man, both these fighters are great outside the ring, but what counts is what's inside the ring right now for this fight, and I feel like it's gonna be a. Let's just say this: don't count Dubois out, don't count him out. But Anthony he's on point right now, and he deserves all credit that he since he's been here.
Yeah, and old Colin Morrison from Scotland, good friend of mine. Good point on the mental side in regards to Joshua when he was on the way up. Over here, the hype was off the charts, gold medal, etc., KOing all early opponents. That first defeat was a huge setback for him. I don't
It
disagree
was.
with that.
I don't disagree with that, but it was more of it was a setback mentally for him, not
Yeah.
financially, not stardom wise, but mentally because everyone started making fun of him now because you got beat by Andy Ruiz, the little fat Mexican kid that wasn't supposed to. If you betted $5 or $50 or $500 that day, you would have made $5,000. He was an underdog and he did that to Joshua. It was ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? But I think Anthony Joshua finally found his rhythm a little bit, and it's gonna be a great fight.
Now let's talk about the fight itself. I'm gonna talk about
Jab.
what Dubois needs to do to win, and then I'll throw it over to you on what Joshua needs to win to do to win. For Dubois, I feel like he has to figure out a way to work his way inside and not allow Joshua to get comfortable with his jab on the outside. And when he's in like mid range ish, he needs to make Joshua as uncomfortable as possible with his power punches. I think that's the only way that he'll get to Joshua and force him to maybe commit to something that he doesn't want to commit to, uh, which would lead to him opening himself up to a big shot and possibly knockout. That's what I think that he needs to do to win. I don't see Dubois winning a
I
decision.
like it. I like the way you said
Um,
it.
he doesn't. He needs to go for it. I think.
I,
What
I
what
like the
what do
way
you?
you said that.
Yeah.
I
What?
I, I agree with you 100%. I'm not sure if you mentioned, but to punch at the same time as Anthony Joshua is very important, and he needs to do that with his guard up because Anthony Joshua's punching, but he can't leave himself open sometimes. So I agree with you, big. That's his trainers better be watching this. Um, uh, Now Anthony Joshua, his jab, guard up, good feet movement. That's what I think and know he has to do to beat the Bois efficiently and devastatingly. Moving his feet, side to side move, fake, jab, right hand. Fake, jab, right hand, move around, 1, 2, right hand. Like, I'm telling you, I believe you're going to see a lot of straight shots from Anthony Joshua if they're really working on that in the gym because that's what's going to work on him. And I would like to see good right hands to the body, man. Right on the side, on the rib cage, because Dubois does have a high guard when he does, go for his defense. But you gotta the body shots. A lot of people forget about the body shots with heavyweights. But guess what? Usyk and Tyson Fury, they were going crazy on each other with great body shots. So
Mhm.
can't forget about that.
Yeah, and I think for like you mentioned with Joshua, if he sticks that jab out there consistently, he can rock Dubois to sleep with it, right?
Yeah,
And Dubois is like, yeah, yeah, the jab, and then all of a sudden, boom, right hand, and it's over. You're looking at the
yeah,
stars.
yeah. This is
Um,
very true.
right now, Anthony Joshua is at minus 350 as a favorite, and Dubois at plus 280. Not very big margins now. It's pretty tight. And then you have Joshua by KO TKO at minus 200. Joshua on points plus 500. And then you got
Oh wow,
Dubois.
really? Wow,
Yeah. Then you got Dubois by TKO KO plus 400. Dubois by points plus 1100. Now, listen,
that's not happening.
you
Points.
could
Point.
definitely
He's not beating Joshua by points.
go to signupexpert.com/fights ATW. It is also going on the bottom of the banner here where you can see which sport books are in your local area and take advantage of the new sign up deals. I think that there is value on a Joshua by decision at plus
Yes,
500
yes.
because he can very well make this into a, for lack of better terms, think fest. He could you
Let
know
me know. Thank you for putting me on real quick for these cards, man. Let me go to fightsatw.com real quick. Hold on, man.
yeah,
Get my
yeah, I
card
mean,
info.
I think we could do that. And for the 119 people that are online with us right now, we thank you for tapping in with us.
Thank you
Yeah,
guys.
I think Joshua on points is not a bad deal.
But the more people bet, it's just gonna go down. So don't tell them too
Yeah.
much. I'm kidding. But that those are good. Dubois is not going to win on points. He's not going to be Anthony Joshua on points. So the safest bets, if you want to bet, is either Dubois by TKO or Anthony Joshua by decision. If you want to make a profit, if you want to just break even and bet $10 and make $15, then pick Anthony Joshua by TKO. But that's not exciting.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, listen, we're gonna pivot a little bit. There was some news that came out. Old Rick Glazer on X. He's uh he's a consultant of sorts for fighters and
Oh
been a,
goodness. Yeah, I
yeah,
know. I know.
yeah, you know who he is. But
I've heard of him.
he put out there a tweet where he said that he was hearing that Javante Tank Davis was going to fight Lamont Roach Jr. in December. Now, I reached out to a few folks that I know that are closely tied with that team, and they told me that was a lie and that there's no truth to that. There's always things that come with that, right? Some say it is, some say it isn't. But that would be Lamont Roach coming up to 135 to fight Tank. Lamont Roach is champ at 130. So
Yes, sir.
is that a fight that interests you, or better yet, is that a fight that would interest those in the DMV area?
All right, so I grew up in the pro ranks with Lamont Roach. I even shared the ring with him sparring a couple times, and good fighter. He's got the basics down, everything. Very quiet. I'm happy for him. Very happy for him because he's like a late bloomer, just like I am, he's a late bloomer. So he's getting his flowers a little late right now. And say if he does get a fight with Javante, nobody wants to see it. The people in the DMV area, nobody wants to see it. The people maybe in the gyms and they're knowing everybody that grew up together, yeah, they'll tune in everything. But that's not a fight that people would want to see. Would I be happy for Lamont Roach? Hell yeah, man. Go get that, man. Go do your thing, maybe try. Go all out for it. You understand? Just like Edgar and Canelo. Except Lamont Roach, he come. He comes to fight and he's not one of those guys that he just lays down. You understand? Shout out to his old coach that passed away years ago. Great man. Um, Javante Davis has a lot of options out there. You got my boy Ryo as well that he can be fighting. So Javante, he's got, I don't know where these rumors come from. You understand? Not saying Rick Glazer is wrong or anything like that, because a lot of times he's right. But You never know, and it wouldn't surprise me because it makes sense almost when you think about it. It's a random fight, but it does make sense almost. But then also you got the Rios fights that make sense as well, or throw Tank in with Edwin De Los Santos. You understand?
Mm.
So, yeah,
Yeah, that's a good fight too. That's a good fight too. All right.
yep.
Listen, there was this other one, and I know you know this fighter pretty well, Richardson Hitchens. So Keith Idec is reporting that he's the IBF number one contender for the 140-pound title. They're
Keith who?
saying Keith Idec from Yahoo Sports. He's reporting that Richardson Hitchens is fighting Jose Pedraza on December 7th in Puerto Rico. Pedraza is 35 years old, no longer with Top Rank. They kind of told him, hey, you should probably retire, but he's no longer with Top Rank. But Jose Pedraza is supposedly fighting Richardson Hitchens. What do you think about? I don't know. Like I'm a little confused on how he's been moved. It
Who?
I don't want
Who is that?
Richardson Hitchens. Like I don't understand why he it's already past the moment where he's should be fighting these type of fights. Like there should be he should be getting a title shot or something close to it at 140. Like what are we doing?
I feel like I know Richard Hitchens since he was a kid. We sparred a million times. Really good fighter, really sharp, man. Not crazy power puncher, but he's sharp and he's smart, man. I like Africa. And he's a good kid, man. He's a good kid. He's not like a thug or anything. He's a good kid. Man, I feel that he's, of course, came up with Shakur, came up with all these people. He should have been in line for title shots and all that. But guess what? He is not promotionally wise marketable and market. Not say he's not marketable. I'm saying he does not market himself and promote himself, and they don't promote him as a big fighter. And I believe they look at him as still a younger, super young fighter that needs more time, because he didn't excel as fast as these other guys that he grew up with and everything like that. You understand? But he's been talented and been skillful, just like these guys. But it's just that's the way they perceive him as, I believe. But man, throw Hitchison in there with Jose Pedraza and watch what's gonna happen if they do fight. He's either gonna beat Petraza the whole fight super easy, off of just his skills, his reflexes, and everything, whether it's a snooze fest or not, or he wind up clipping Pedraza or hit him a little bit too much, and they just stop the fight because they know Pedraza's, out of it already. You understand? That's how it's gonna go. But man, give my boy Africa, give him a title shot already. Put him in there with this big boy. Put his big boy shoes on, unless his team and other people don't want it. But I highly doubt that. He has a great coach named Lenny. So man, put him in there, bro. Put him in there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's just like a level of frustration with like man, like he's just not getting this Pedraza fight just doesn't move the needle at all unless they're going to like put him as a co-main and then they have like Matthias maybe fighting as the main event and then put them together in the future, kind of like build it up that way. But if they're not doing that, then this is like a waste of time.
All right, you got to compare it though. Who does Africa fight like? Who does Hitchens fight resemble? Shakur a little bit.
Hmm.
Do people break down the doors to watch Shakur Stevenson fight? No, they do not.
Yeah.
No, they don't, bro. Do us boxing fans do? Yeah, because he's got skills, man. Hitchison's got skills. These guys got amazing skills. But the fans I'm talking about in
Hmm.
general are not breaking the door down for him. So a person like Richardson Hitchens that the world fans outside of boxing don't even know, of course they're not going. It's hard for him to get big fights or maybe for big money as well. You understand? So he's got to promote himself more and start sitting down on the shots a little bit more. But really, it's not even just the boxing stuff. He's got to promote himself a lot more, man. Promote himself more, and that doesn't mean go out there and start talking all crazy and bull crap. You can be the nicest guy, promote yourself as well. Look at these other guys. You understand? So I feel like they need to give Richardson Hitchens some way better fights. He was with Floyd early on, thought that would work out, didn't. So now he's with, Eddie Hearn. So who knows, man? And I wish him well. But these fights,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I
the
mean, and
leftovers.
he's 26 years old, man. Like, this would be only, and it's the activity too, man. He's only fighting twice a year, bro. Like, he's only got 18 fights. How are
I'm
you only
I'm
fighting
gonna
twice a
I'm gonna
year?
tell you something, man. It's like my career. Fighting twice or once a year, that kills you. That can kill you, especially if you're not a guy who stays in the gym. You gotta stay in the gym. You gotta be right. And it can mess up a lot of guys. And I don't want that to happen with Hitchens. So he's got to be on, and you never see Hitchinson get fat or anything like that. But mentally, he has to stay focused, and so I hope that's what he's doing.
Yeah, and listen, I mean, I'm moving on to just to round out. I mean, we're going into the into October, and Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol is the fight, right? Is That's the one that we're waiting
Can't wait.
for.
Can't wait. It's
Yeah, and I don't know, like Canelo after the fight has said that if Bivol wins,
not happening.
uh, he wants a rematch. But then I'm
It is
like,
not happening.
so what happens if Beterbiev wins then? So
They,
you,
I honestly believe both those fights are happening. It doesn't matter who wins. I believe both those fights are happening. These motherfuckers are some big bad motherfuckers, man. And I just want to say, and Canelo's not trying to do that right now. But he has a fighting spirit. He wants to get his lick backs, but you don't need to because you don't understand. These guys are bigger and they're great. They're great. Okay, the winner of that fight needs to be on the top 10 pound for pound list immediately. I tell you that right now. They better get their respect and get put in one of them ESPN top per pound lists or box rec, whatever. It's really think about it. They've been reigning, bro.
yeah,
Especially Bivol. If he don't get on the top pound for pound list, if he beats Bitavev, that's a
he's
pretty
on
good
he's
sign.
on there. He's just not on the like in the top three. You know,
Well, top three is a totally different ball game.
Yeah,
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 that's a
but I
different
mean,
ball
but
game.
even then, like a Bivol, I think either way, whoever wins that fight, you have to put him right underneath. I mean, it's got to
Usyk.
be Inoue, Crawford, Usyk, and then that winner of Beterbiev and Bivol. I would have to imagine.
Okay, I could see that. I could see that. Okay. Don't forget Javante Davis as well. I could see
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
with Javante, I think it's still there. Still needs
I know, I get it. He's
his
just a
level of
hard, still a
competition.
hard
Yeah,
guy to beat. He's just still a hard
yeah,
guy to beat. It's not
yeah.
an easy. He's not the guy. He's not an easy guy to beat. Um, yeah, yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah, I
Essentially.
mean, I like that fight, the Better BF and Bivol fight. I just hope that there's still the possibility that it could be like a sting fest a little bit. Like
No,
Bivol
no,
because
not at all. Not at all. Hell no.
no, you don't think so?
I don't think so, bro. Not from Vita. Hell, he won't let that
No,
happen.
you don't think so? I
He's
mean,
not gonna let that happen. And Bivol, no matter what, he gonna box and all that. But he put some pepper on his punches, bro. But forget everything. If I'm David Benavidez, you know what I do? Canelo money is great, of course. But if you really want to stick it to Canelo and all these people, forget them. I want winner of that fight. And if he wins and beats those guys, excuse my language, but he shitted on everybody, bro.
so he
Think about
apparently
that though.
he's been like quote unquote promised that he's got winner.
All right, all right. We gonna
And and
see.
and I'm gonna tell you, Benavidez against any one of those guys is gonna be money. It's gonna be magic.
But it's gonna be a monster fight. That's
Yeah.
that's no joke. Imagine Bitavev versus Benavidez. That's a all time war. That is bad, bro. I want that fight now. No, forget every other fight. I want that fight, man. I want that fight. And if you want me to throw out a wild card fight out there, hey, I would still like to see Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. I would still like to see it.
You would still be interested in that?
I would still like to see it, man. I would like, but more, I would like to see Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua.
Yeah,
You
yeah. I
heard
think.
Turk?
Uh, See, I think that so if Fury wins in December, obviously Usyk is going to want that run back. But I think that they give him a little bit of step aside money and they do Fury Joshua in the spring. If Usyk wins, I think that they do Usyk Joshua number 3, and they
I can
try to
see
sell
that.
it like Ben Davidson, new coach, new approach type of thing. But I'm
I
gonna
like
tell
that
you,
Davidson. He's very good.
they sleeping on Big Bang Zhang though, man. Like, Big Bang Zhang against Joshua is a very interesting fight.
It is.
Very
It
interesting
is.
fight.
I wouldn't
So
take that fight if I'm him.
get with
Good
it
fight.
either. I mean, they fought in the
Hey,
Olympics.
hey, Parker, what's going on? Come on, Parker.
Oh, that's right.
Parker, don't sleep on Parker.
I keep forgetting about
You know
Joseph
what?
Parker.
Put Parker in with Deontay Wilder. That's a cool fight. Or
Yeah,
put Parker in with Jarrell Miller.
yeah,
You can see
yeah.
that. You
I could see that.
can see
Or,
that.
I mean, or Parker gets a rematch with Anthony Joshua. They fought before, and
But
it
IBF, I
was
mean,
it was a close fight. So I don't know. Maybe you do that.
yeah, maybe I will do that.
All right, listen. I think we're gonna wrap this up. We didn't get nobody to call in.
It's all right, man. On the next
So
one.
the next time for the 131, looks like that joined us today on the live with us. We appreciate it. Zach and I will be back. I think this Friday, Flo. Oh, you know what? Hold on. You guys are underrating Bacoli. I forgot about Bacoli, man. Bacoli was the one that put away Big Baby Anderson.
Hey,
Yeah. You know what? You
hey,
know what though?
hey.
And listen,
Level
I'm gonna
Sports. We got this guy, Level Sports. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. A guy, I love this. This is very good. This is why comments are good. You guys need to start writing in the comments, man. Stop playing
yeah.
games and start thinking too much. Just write whatever you got in the comments.
Yeah.
Yo, Bacoli deserves a money fight. Absolutely. Matter of fact, put Bacoli in with Joseph Parker. Let's go. The winner of
Mm,
that should fight for a title, just like that. Or put Bacoli in with Jarrell Miller. Let's see if he can beat both big babies. But what
mm,
if Jarrell beats Bacoli, which it could happen. You never know.
yeah. I
Guess
don't know.
what?
You know which fight I wouldn't mind seeing with Bacoli, and it'll be a bang bang fight is
Andy Ruiz.
no Big Bang Zang, man. The big Chinaman. Do that fight in China, bro. Like
That's
they're
bad.
gonna
That's
man,
bad.
those guys
They
in
need a
China,
name. Bacoli's not
they
a name though.
yeah, but they've been wanting to do a homecoming for Big Bang Zang for a while
So
now.
they
So
should do that. And guess what?
yeah.
Bacoli, his personality is dope, man. He be dancing all that. He be having a good time. He would be a fun fighter. Listen to you promoters. He would be a fun fighter to put in Japan at the
Or
open training sessions. I
China.
mean China, I'm sorry. Thank you. In the open training sessions in front of all the Chinese people, he would be a very entertaining fight with Big Zhang. Don't know if he can win. Maybe you never know, but yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? And Level Sports, Cabiel, yes. Now I was told that they were trying to do that fight before the Zhang Wilder fight, and for some reason it just didn't happen. For one reason or the other. I don't know if it was because he accepted it and they were waiting on Wilder, and then Wilder ended up accepting, and that was the better fight. But it just didn't happen one way or the other. I don't know if Zhang would fight a Kabiel because that's more like giving the rub on a younger fighter that doesn't his name isn't like that big out there. With Bacoli, excuse me, with Bacoli, he just
He just beat
finished
yeah.
Big Baby Anderson, so that's
Makes more
more of
sense.
it makes more sense. with caveat, I think he still has to, work his way up, and maybe he fights Big Baby Miller or someone like that, or maybe even Otto Valin. Otto Valin is out there, so those can be some attractive fights. Let me tell you, man. There's a lot of nice matchups that can be made in the heavyweight division, and I think that Turkey sees this, and that's why he's kind of doing like a round robin. He said
I
that
like it. And money is feeding that
yeah,
now. And it's
yeah,
staying active and all that.
yeah,
But let's just hope the ending, not saying that as an end, but the ending is not to destroy everyone.
yeah. And they were talking about, I guess, Deontay Wilder's going to fight again. I don't know
Malik
who he's
Scott.
going to fight. Yeah, Malik Scott was the one that said that. So I don't know who he's going to fight, and I don't know if he should fight, but if he fights one more time, I hope that it's the last fight. Because he got knocked out brutally, a few times,
You
and
gotta remember this wave of fighters, the Danny Garcias, the Deontay's, everything, Earl Spence's, they're watering out. You don't understand? Because they made a lot of money. And guess what? Each and every one of those guys has had monstrous fights. And so now it's time for them to cash out and go on their way. You know what I'm saying? That's what I believe. You know, yeah. I want to
yeah,
see Earl Spence though come go and retire with W and with another title. I would like to see Earl Spence like that
yeah. And
because he deserves it.
we're still waiting on Earl Spence. He was supposed to fight Fundura in the fall. And listen, we're in the fall already. I don't see that fight happening before the end of the year. And so, what does he do? There's some folks are saying he may even come back at 160. So I don't know. Like,
What's
we're
okay?
still.
So who is Tim Tszyu fighting?
He is fighting. I can't pronounce the guy's name, but it's for the IBF 154 title
Tim Tszyu should
designation.
be fighting Erickson Lubison
He should, but this
because
is
that's
what
a good
happened.
fight, man.
But
That's a
this
good
is what
fight,
ha-
bro.
but this is what happened. That fight was offered to Lubin the first time. I think it was last year, and Lubin got hurt. It was signed, and then Lubin got hurt, and Zoo had to move on.
Oh yes, yes,
That
yes. I remember
that
that.
fight was offered again before the Fundora fight, and Lubin said he didn't have enough
I
time to
think we
get
talked
ready.
about that. I think yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So
Gotcha.
I don't know. Now Lubin's saying he's ready. I don't know. Like, if your team Zoo and No Limit, you've gone to that well twice and kind of been like quote
And they
unquote burned
hold,
a little bit.
they hold weight. They hold weight big time.
Yeah. And so it's like, what do you want to go back down there, down that road and commit to Lubin again after him not, you know, f- uh going through with it twice before?
I think they should have Tszyu and Cambosa on the same card one day out there in the country.
Mm,
That would be awesome.
mm. I think Cambosa's on his way of being on his last fight, and
Yeah, I
and that
believe
and
so
that
too.
might
Of course.
and that might not be a bad way to go. Even the Nikita Zoo, I'm gonna tell you, Tim Zoo's little brother, Nikita Zoo, is making
Oh
some
yeah,
noise out there.
I seen it. I seen him a little bit. Yeah.
154-pound prospect. So he's making some noise out there in Australia, and he's already headlining kind of some events. So that's another guy to look out for.
I like the Drunken Master kid. I like him.
The Drunken Master Kid.
He dances when he fights. Like that
Well,
guy.
there's a couple of guys.
No, this guy he does it he does it drastically, but he's a good
uh,
fighter. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, we'll see how it goes, man.
On the next one, I would like to touch on any are there now in the next one we could touch on are there any guys that coming from the Olympics that are about to stand out right now in the program? That's what I would like to talk about or see.
Yeah,
I'll figure that
yeah,
out, man. I don't hear anything right now.
yeah. No, and really, there isn't.
First
There
time I haven't
isn't.
heard nothing from
Uh,
Olympics.
yeah,
That's
there
bad.
isn't.
It's bad.
I know. This girl that I know, Stephanie Simon, who's a Marine Corps captain in the reserves. She was kind of snubbed out of the Olympic team. she's making a pro debut next week on the Alicia
Nice.
Bumgarner card. So she's definitely somebody to look out for, and might be one of those that is fast tracked and gets a title shot with a handful of
Okay.
fights. So definitely check that out on the
Now
Alicia
what? Now I
Bumgarner
got one question
undercard.
for you. Who do you
Yeah.
think, before we close out, who do you think is the best female fighter in the world right now, pound for pound, number one?
All right, I'm gonna ask you two questions with that before I answer it. Are we talking about
Mhm.
as a fighter or as profile? Or
Overall,
both?
the
Huh?
face, the face. You would think is the face or overall?
Mm. US or worldwide?
Worldwide, bro.
Oh, yeah. I mean, people may not agree with this, but Katie Taylor.
Katie Taylor. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Katie Taylor worldwide is a megastar.
Yeah, I
Period.
believe that. For me, of
Period.
course, I'm a biased guy. I'm like Amanda Serrano all day, but
Of
like
course.
my five women are like, Amanda Serrano, you know, Sanisa Estrada,
Sinisa. Yep.
she's a monster. Clarissa Shields, great.
Hmm.
You can't mention your list without mentioning Clarissa Shields. Then you got Alicia Baumgartner, and then
Katie Taylor.
Katie Taylor. That's it.
Yeah.
Those
Now,
five.
Bump Ghana, I'm still juries are still a little bit out because she had those PEDs situation and all that.
Hey, hold up. No, no, just put it down. I'm not sure. It happened. I don't know, man. Can't say it
Yeah,
happened. Damn.
yeah, man. So no, I mean it's I'm interested in seeing um the new
They're gonna
crop of
fight again,
women.
right? Aren't they gonna
Yeah,
fight again?
no,
Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano.
November 15th on
They're gonna
the
go. They're
Jake
gonna go,
Paul,
bro. They're
Mike
gonna fight.
Tyson. This is the thing. I think Katie Taylor retires either way after this fight.
Doesn't matter. They're gonna fight. They're gonna go all out.
Yeah. I think for Amanda, this is I don't think that she could retire without getting this fight, this W.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
And
I think
Amanda's,
she would.
I don't care how much money she's been making, but guess what? She wants to win, bro.
Yeah,
She's really counts on herself to win. You know what I'm saying? And Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. That's just that's gonna be a sparring match, and that's it. So
yeah. But Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor too, and this
that's
is gonna
gonna be
be
a
on
war.
and this is gonna be on Netflix. Oof,
I'm tuning
you
in
know,
for that. I'm tuning in
yeah,
for that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you got to.
Yeah.
All right, listen. Let me see. There's about 130 in there. Hey, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Zach, let them know anything and everything as for your final thoughts.
I feel like boxing right now is as a little cool down, but I feel like it's gonna spark up major real soon. Just like it was last year, we were spoiled. I think 2025 is going to be a really crazy year of fights. It might. I think the beginning of 2025 starts in fall of this year. So be ready
Mm.
for that.
All right, listen.
Shout
Oscar
out to
De La
Oscar.
Hoya's. Shout out to Oscar De La Hoya and his Clapback Thursdays. If you haven't watched it, go on his IG and it's hilarious. But he makes a lot of good points too about entertainment value on fights and stuff like that. So, hey, listen for a boxing rush hour show. It's on Friday. It looks like we're gonna maybe stick to Fridays. So try to catch us on a Friday. Myself, Zachary Ochoa, and
Sure.
we hit this live. Get your questions up. Get them comments up. Subscribe to the channel, and yeah, we'll just kick it each time and see what's popping. All right. So
Yes,
for
sir.
us, we're gonna sign out here and hope everyone has a great weekend.